Star Wars only, I don't know what the fuck your problem is.
Last night was pretty interesting. Rian Johnson basically debunked some of the fake news that was going around in the Star Wars fandom, and I kind of like that. So what happened was, there was some rumors and speculations going on that a major movie franchise was soon to lose its director, and some of the speculations and rumors were pointing towards Rian Johnson, and this led to the article by Super Bro Movies, I believe is how you say it. Yeah, Super Bro Movies made an article saying that according to multiple sources, Rian Johnson had ceased development on his trilogy of Star Wars movies, and this was announced back in 2017 of November. And if you recall, last year, in 2018, Bob Iger had said they were slowing down all the Star Wars movies after Episode 9, so some people were speculating that Rian Johnson was getting his trilogy canceled. And the news this week was supposed to be that they were going to announce his trilogy was being canceled this week. It was supposed to come out either by Lucasfilm or Disney, whatever. Well, Super Bro Movies made that article, and they deleted it because it was false. Rian Johnson came out and said, "No, it isn't true. I'm still working on the trilogy, with all due respect to the movie bros, who I'm sure are lovely, kind bros with good fraternal intentions." And the Super Movie Bros, or Super Bro Movies, whatever you call them, they actually came back with a tweet, and they publicly apologized about it. And I didn't really like what they had to say. They said, "We wanted to take some time to apologize to everyone we may have offended or angered in our reporting tonight. Simply put, we got wind of a huge rumor, and after reaching out to confirm with other journalists, we ran it." And what's interesting is when they say they reached out to confirm with other journalists, because there's a lot of other journalists that I know that said it wasn't accurate. I mean, you look at the people from MakingStarWars.net, they even ran an article saying that their inside sources were saying that, you know, Rian Johnson's trilogy is still happening, there's no announcement coming soon that's going to get canceled, or anything like that. And I know the sources that these guys are getting, their assumed sources, or alleged sources. I really don't buy the whole Super Bro Movies defense of, you know, we confirmed with other journalists, because I saw where they got the news from, and there wasn't any validity to it at all that Rian Johnson was getting his trilogy canceled. So that was pretty interesting, but they apologized. Rian Johnson said, "No harm, no foul at all, guys. Thanks. I think the rumor game makes fandom funner." And he's right. I do think the rumors do make a lot of the interest in the fandom go up. So what does this mean in the end? Rian Johnson is still working on his trilogy. When is that getting released? Well, I talked about this yesterday. We don't really know at the moment, and the reason being is David Benioff and D.B. Weiss have been basically said to work on 3 films themselves, and they're working on their Star Wars films after 2019, because that's when the Game of Thrones show ends. So after 2019, these guys are going to start working on their films. You're probably going to get their films before you get the Rian Johnson one. But what we do know with Rian Johnson's trilogy, the official stuff about Rian Johnson's trilogy, is that Rian Johnson is writing and directing the very first film in his trilogy. He's not writing or directing the second one or the third one. We're right now just the first one. And the first one will be produced by Ram Bergman, I believe is how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm not getting that right. But he works with Rian Johnson on all his films. But right now, those are the only 2 guys that we know that are doing anything with the Rian Johnson trilogy. Rian Johnson is writing and directing it, and Ram Bergman is producing it. Now, Kathleen Kennedy's not producing it, J.J. Abrams not producing it, and Rian Johnson's not producing it, but just those 2 guys right now are the only ones involved with that trilogy. So it's definitely interesting to see where that may go, because Rian Johnson has also confirmed that he's not going to the Old Republic era, or doing the Old Republic story at all, anything like that. He said he wants to do a new universe, or a new part of the universe, and new characters, so it'll definitely be something original, or at least I would hope it would be original. And we don't know when it's coming out, but we do know that he's writing and directing the first one, Ram Bergman is producing it, and that's it. That's honestly it. And Rian Johnson's still working on it. No news of when it's coming out, though, which does suck, because, I mean, it's interesting to know when this stuff will come out, at least. But tell me your thoughts below. What are your thoughts on this? Are you excited that Rian Johnson is still working on his Star Wars trilogy? Do you think that's good news? Do you think that's bad news? Do you think it's going to come out before the David Benioff and D.B. Weiss trilogy, or will it come out after or during it? I mean, we really don't know the release dates of what they're planning to do, because think about this right now. Rumored to have, he's basically confirming we do have one trilogy, and we also have another trilogy from David Benioff and D.B. Weiss now. We have 6 more Star Wars films coming out, but we don't know when they're coming out, and they could come out in the next decade. You know, we're going to hit a new decade between 2020 and 2023. We could be getting 6 Star Wars films in that time span. That would be very interesting. That entire decade is spent with Star Wars movies that are not episodic, that are not Skywalker sagas. They're from Rian Johnson and the Game of Thrones creators. That would be very interesting. We'll see how that goes. So tell me your thoughts below. I'm Star Wars Only. I'll see y'all next time, and may the Force be with you always.